Are you a first-time home buyer and you really have no idea what it takes to purchase your first home? In this video, I'm going to share with you an 8-step process of what it really takes to purchase a home. You may be pleasantly surprised at just how easy it really is if you have the right guidance, and we're getting after it right now. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is about living, breathing, sleeping, eating, working, playing in Richmond, Virginia and the surrounding counties of Hanover, Henrico, Chesterfield, New Kent, Goochland, and Powhatan, then subscribe below and tap the notifications bell so you can be the first to know about the current market in Richmond, Virginia. My name is Scott Durnley with Joyner Fine Properties. We're going to get right into the first step of the process. All right, step 1 is super important. This is to get with your lender and get pre-approved for a loan. This is important because it will set the high and the low parameters for what you can afford. This process may also alleviate some of the misconceptions that you may have about buying a home, such as, I need 20% to purchase a home. You do not need to have 20% down to purchase a home. I need to make an absolute ton of money to buy a home. That's not necessarily true. I need to have a perfect credit score to buy a home. That's not true either. There are some programs where you can buy with not an absolutely perfect credit score. So these are things your lender will talk to you about and help alleviate some of these things that you may have going on in your mind. I work with several fantastic loan officers that I can refer you to that will walk you through this very first critical step in the process. And without this pre-approval, we're pretty well not able to proceed with step 5, which is making an offer. So I know I'm jumping a little bit ahead here all the way to step 5, but you can't make an offer unless you have this letter because no offer is going to be taken seriously without a pre-approval letter. So this gets us into step 2. So now we've gotten you approved. We know what dollar range we should be shopping for. Now we decide what you should be shopping for. So step 2 is we consider your needs. I sit down with you and we go into all the nitty-gritty details of what you need in your new home. Questions like, what's the minimum square feet? What's your minimum lot size? How many bedrooms and baths do you need for your family? What part of town do you want to be in? Do you need an owner's suite on the first floor or do you prefer it on the second floor? Do you need a guest bedroom on the first floor where something like when parents come to visit, they have that first floor bedroom? Do you need a garage? If you need a garage, is it one car? Will that work? Or do you need 2 or 3 or more cars? Do you need a home that's single story with everything on one level? Or do you prefer, having the multiple levels? Do you want a neighborhood with an HOA, which is a homeowners association? Or you may specifically want one that doesn't have the homeowners association? Do you want a neighborhood with a pool and different amenities like that? Is this going to be your forever home, or do you only see yourself there for a few years? Again, these are just an example of some of the questions that we talk about and what a real estate professional should be asking you so we know exactly what to shop for. So we will always consider your needs when looking for a home, and this leads us into step 3. Step 3 is you actually make that decision to buy a home. This is where you sit down like clients of mine, Tyler and Allison recently did. You go through the pros and cons, and then you give me a call and say, hey, we're ready. Let's buy a home. So that gets us into step 4, which is actually shopping for homes. This is probably the most exciting part of the home buying process. Based on our discussions in step 2, where we look at your needs, we're going to actually be out there looking at homes. We're going to have feet to the pavement. We're going to be looking at homes that fit your needs. And this can be a lot of fun. We can look at 5, 10, 20 homes, really as many as it takes to find that perfect property. And then once we find the one, it's on to step 5. Step 5 is making the offer. This can be one of the most important steps in the 8-step process. Buying a home is one of the most important financial decisions you're going to make in your lifetime. So you may be inclined to wait about it and say, yeah, you know what, I need to really think about this for a little bit, before I put down an offer. Well, we are in a seller's market, and I can tell you, if you identify the perfect home, you need to be ready to move on it quickly, because that home may not be available when you decide to pull the trigger if you wait. Again, this is why we make that very important step 1 to get that pre-approval letter, because this will let you move quickly once you find the right property. Again, no offer is going to be considered without a strong pre-approval letter. So being prepared to make an offer right away will at least give you a fighting chance. It'll get you in the game, as they say, if there's multiple offers. And then you also need to make the right offer, which is something I guide you through, and we make the right offer based on market conditions and then things that are important to you. So that's step 5, making the offer. Okay, so step 6, this is where you leave the details to us. Once your offer is accepted from step 5, there's a bunch of things that happen now between contract and closing, and you just leave those details to us. Our team will take care of all of those things that happen between contract and closing. We'll set up your home inspection. That's really the first thing you're going to do after your contract is accepted. We'll get your contract file to your lender, your closing attorney, the title company. We're going to follow up with your lender to make sure they've ordered your appraisal in a timely manner. If you purchased a home with a homeowners association, we follow up with the listing agent to ensure that they have ordered that home association package that you have a review time on. We make sure you get that in a timely manner, not like a day or so before closing. We'll follow up with the listing agent prior to closing to make sure they've ordered the termite inspection, which is part of the contract. All of these are just a bunch of little details that happen in that time frame, and we are on top of all of these for you so you can just relax and get ready to be a homeowner. So this takes us into step 7, which is final review and contract signing. So we've made it through steps 1 through 6, and we're right at this point just before closing. Here we get to review a final settlement statement. And here we look at all the money. The settlement statement lays out all the money, and this is where we will review that for you and ensure that all the numbers line up with the contract and what you've decided to borrow with your lender. So we look at all that, review it, and make sure everything looks good from a financial perspective. And then we actually accompany you to your attorney's office when you close and actually sign all the documents. And it's quite a little stack that you get to sign on that day. So come with a fresh hand. At the end, you'll be wringing it out because it'll be stiff from signing a lot of papers. So this gets us on to step 8. This is the most exciting part of this entire journey. This is where you get the keys to your brand new home. It's time to sit back, crack the champagne, and celebrate. You have made one of the best long-term financial investments of your lifetime, and you've taken the very first step to accumulating real wealth. Congratulations on a job well done. So these are the 8 steps in your path to home ownership. I hope you found this information helpful. When I bought my first home in the early 90s, I was really clueless about the process, and I just fumbled my way through it without a buyer's agent. This was a mistake. I can tell you that now looking back on it. I didn't know what I didn't know, and it was not really a great process for me. That's why I like to educate my clients up front about the home buying process. I've also got a really great offer for you. My team and I have taken the time to create the ultimate relocation guide, which is meant to save you hours of research, and I've linked it below. You'll find everything from top employers, the best hospitals, and a boatload of other things you'll need to know before you make that move. The best part is this guide is 100% free. All of that information is described below, so we can help you make a smooth move to Richmond, Virginia. So if you're thinking about purchasing your first home and would like to talk, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. All of that information is below. I'd love to help you make your first move toward home ownership. Thank you very much.